Because I remember something about that, and I just lost it.
Let's start. Yeah, good evening. It's 5:03, and we will open the November 7th, 2023 meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals. We have two public hearings on the agenda. The first is actually a continuation of a public hearing for 51 Pioneer Street. And since the last month, that actually went, if you remember, that was the stone building, the question about the parking. That went to the trustees, who issued a special permit for a two-family residence, but they made a condition that it would not have any short-term rental. So as a result, the applicant has withdrawn the application for transient rental, since that's disallowed by the special permit. So we really have nothing that is our board's responsibility or any decision that needs to be made by us any longer on that application. So because it's been withdrawn, I will we'll just close the public hearing, but we need to formally do that since we had left it open. So I'll formally close that public hearing and open the public hearing at 5:04 for 83 Pioneer Street. This is an application for a side yard setback for a proposed carport. We do have a new document today, which is very helpful, thank you. That clarifies that that it is going to be more than 20 feet back from the front property line, so there's no issue with the front yard setback. But the side yard setback requirement is 10 feet, and the proposal is to build the carport 2 feet 2 inches from that. So it would require 7 feet 10 inches of relief, or 94 inches, same thing, 7 feet is 84, 10 inches. All right, thank you very much. Is there any public comment, or anyone want to look at the documents or have any questions about the application?
I can just add that I measured the front yard setbacks as well and photographed, as did the applicant, and that will be filed with
Okay.
the case as well.
Perfect. Thank you. How are you?
Hi.
Identify yourself.
I'm Tom Shelby, and
Okay.
I'm at 83 Pioneer, and I just wanted to say, Cooperstown to me is a very special town. It's not the typical upstate New York town. Between Jane Clark and the lake, the hospital, the Hall of Fame, it's special. And just several days ago, at the height of the autumn colors, when I turned onto Pioneer Street off of Beaver, it was breathtaking. The autumn blaze trees, it's beautiful. And I'm telling you this because the last thing in the world I would want to do is lessen the beauty of the block or the place. That's the last thing. So this carport that we're building is going to look like it was built with the house. It is going to be painted the same colors. The pillars on the house for the front porch and the side porch are square, they're boxed in. The carport pillars also are going to be boxed in. It's going to match the house perfectly, so it really looks, the last thing in the world I want to do is decrease the beauty of the place. I can also show you when we moved here about 4 years ago, we didn't understand this process, and I bought from Home Depot a carport, which was ugly, but we're at an age now, I know it snows here on occasion, where to, take the snow off the car and deal with that, we really, at our age, can use a carport. So I bought this carport from Home Depot, and I can show you, you can take my word for it, I have a picture of it. The last snow of last winter was a very heavy, wet snow, and this cheap carport collapsed on my car. I can show you the pictures, you can take my word for it. So I just wanted to tell you, we are going to make this look like it was born with the house. That is in terms of painting and the structure of it. So we're really looking to harmonize with the environment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. And I understand this has been one time to HPAR, which will review those issues in more detail, and it'll go back to HPAR for their decision, whatever.
So HBAR hasn't approved it.
No, but they have looked at it.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
that I'm just
Yep.
trying to figure out where we are.
Exactly, yes, and these are the only two boards involved. Any other questions or comments? Okay,
Bob, do you have a comment?
Want to say something?
I think the best neighbors you could have, and they're very conscientious about doing whatever they can to maintain the beauty and integrity and the historic value of what they do.
thank you.
We pay them to say.
Yeah.
Which house is yours?
Yes, the
Next
neighbor.
door.
These are next door neighbors.
Which next door?
On that
Bob
side,
Hayes.
on the impacted side,
On the impacted side?
yeah.
Okay.
The other side is the Clark property, which
Oh, the
was known as
paddock.
Pond and Paddock. And then beyond that is Alan Rich and their friends of ours.
And Mr. Raymond said last time, Bob, that you two had looked at the property line and have a mutual understanding of where the property line is, or most
Oh,
likely
yes.
is?
We've gone over it together.
Okay. All right. So let me go through. Anyone have any other questions? We'll go through the kind of criteria and go through that process. So in making a determination, the ZBA shall take into consideration the benefit to the applicant if the variance is granted, weighed against the detriment to the health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood or community by such grant. In making such determination, the board shall also consider whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or detriment to nearby properties will be created by the granting of the area variance. And the applicant responded no. Does anyone have anything they want to add to that? Okay. All right. Whether the benefits sought by the applicant can be achieved by some method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than an area variance? No. Does anyone else have any comment? Okay. Whether the requested area variance is substantial, the project will represent a substantial benefit to the quality of life of the Shelbys. Okay. Typically, it means a more of a dimensional substantial, but it is not substantial in terms of the total property line. It's just a segment of it, and it's a pretty modest segment for the carport, actually. So does anyone feel like it's substantial? Right. Whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental condition in the neighborhood or district? Absolutely not. Anyone have any other comments? And whether the alleged difficulty was self-created, which shall be relevant, but shall not necessarily preclude the granting of the area variance. Answer: the project will enable the Shelbys to better maintain their property in safe conditions. Okay.
Can you ask a question?
Yes.
Where is the existing driveway in terms of the line of the setback?
Do you know where the existing driveway is relative to the carport or the property line?
The existing driveway is
Yeah.
exactly where the carport's going to be.
Okay. All
The
right, so it's
carport's going to be
already,
over the existing driveway.
okay, so it's already in the, I was just gonna make a note that the long-time existing paved driveway is already within the side yard setback.
Yeah, the car already parks in the setback.
Yeah, all right,
Mhm.
okay. I was just gonna firm that up a little.
She usually makes our
Numbers, but
motions.
I'm a motion woman.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else have any other questions? Okay. The time is 5:12. I'll close the public hearing and entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to grant an area variance to, what's our address? Let me write that down.
83 Pioneer.
83 Pioneer Street for the construction of an attached carport whose 16-foot length will be built 7 feet 10 inches into the side yard setback. You good on that, Marshall? Okay, so I want to note that the long-time existing paved driveway is already within the side yard setback. One more, sorry. And also note that this board in the past already approved a variance for a freestanding carport, which would only have required a 5-foot setback. I think I'm done.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. I was going to suggest that you might want to add to that last note that the previous application, which we also approved the variance for, or which we did approve variance for, was in a very similar location relative to the.
Okay, so Marshall, just add that to the end
So
and say required a 5-foot setback and would have been located in a footprint similar to that of this proposal.
So is there a second for that modification?
I'll second it.
Okay. Any other discussion or thoughts? You want to read all that back? And I don't know if you can just give her that if she has any information.
Oh, I remember that.
Or should we read it? In case there's any questions.
Okay.
To grant an area variance to 83 Pioneer Street for the construction of an attached carport whose 16-foot length will be built 7 feet 10 inches into the side yard setback, with the note that the existing paved driveway is already within the side yard setback. And also note that this board already approved a variance for a carport,
Freestanding carport.
for a freestanding carport. Which would have only required a 5-foot setback encroachment. And that was a motion, and then it was modified with this addition. And would have been located in a footprint similar to that of this proposal.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we have an extra member here, so you are you're the second alternate, right, I believe?
I'm second alternate, I think.
No, I think you're the first. I
I'm
think
the
you were
first.
appointed first
Oh,
for Jeff. So the 5 of us will be voting members tonight. Thank you for being here, though. Okay, we're ready to vote? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
okay. Aye.
Okay, and all 5 in favor, no opposition. So your variance is granted.
Thank
Good
you.
luck in the carport.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
That was brilliant. I was transfixed.
And we will see you next week at this time to discuss the architectural side of things with H Park.
I'm gonna go watch something a little less dramatic.
That'll be a longer meeting.
5 o'clock next
We should
week.
be here.
That
We'll
would
be
great.
here.
Yes.
Thank you,
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
thank you.
Bye-bye. Night.
Thanks for all your work.
Thank you. All right, I think other than that, we have two sets of minutes. And I'm trying to, I think it was Jeff and Randy and I were the three here for that special meeting, is that right?
Yeah, I really knew that. I knew, you know, like I got so many emails, the email fell below the line. But now, you know, she just threw the application, so it's almost like it's
Yeah.
to the point. So I don't feel quite as bad on that.
Yeah,
I feel
well,
bad.
we had three, so as long as we could hold a meeting, that was
But I
the.
don't think you're behind. I didn't think you were behind.
Oh, yeah, I didn't hear from you. Well, I didn't see yours, well, then, Chris. All right, so we have both last month's, everyone had a chance to review it?
Yeah, I mean, I'd make a motion to accept the minutes of October 3rd as presented. Let's see, it was you and me, Randy, Frank's not here tonight. and
I
Jeff.
second that.
Okay. Randy seconded? Okay, and so the four of us can vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah,
I think
because you were at the
here,
meeting
you were at
last
that
time.
meeting, yep. All right. And then we had the special meeting. Is that, I've read, Randy and Jeff, have you read the minutes from that little meeting? Does anyone make a motion about that meeting?
I'll make a motion that the minutes of the special meeting of October 11th be accepted.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous? No opposition, okay, good. Anybody have any questions? That's all, everything on our agenda. All set?
I just had one question. 51 Pioneer Street,
Yes,
that's
It's gone.
been totally withdrawn?
it's withdrawn for short-term rental. The trustees, they had to review it because it changed from being mixed occupancy, since it used to have commercial in part of the building, to being two-family. And two-family is a special permit use, mixed occupancy was a permitted use, so it had to go through that process.
Right.
And I was not at that meeting, I think Chris probably was. My understanding is that, that the trustees were generally not in favor of short-term rental there because it would usurp a commercial, historically kind of commercial space, and did not want to encourage that. And there had been a similar application on Upper Main Street that was also denied within the last 2 or 3 years or whatever, for that reason.
And further, the applicant was supposed to demonstrate adequate parking, and she brought a contract for parking that was on Maple Street, too far away to be taken seriously.
Right.
That also contributed.
So I had a question about that. What parking lot is available on Maple Street?
I don't recall, I think it was a private individual who had enough space. Since it was discarded immediately, I didn't
Okay.
study it too closely, but.
I mean, if that comes up again, I feel like, I'm not even sure, well, it would be worth studying. I don't even think someone who has a residential property can
Which one's
rent
Maple?
out spaces.
Which one's
But I don't,
Maple?
honestly, I don't know
I
for
think it
sure.
was Maple. What was it?
Which
Maple
one's
is the
Maple?
one
Like up by,
on the other
up by
end.
Thanksgiving home?
Yeah, but on the back of it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's Grove.
Grove's in
Yeah,
front
the
there.
Maple, yeah, I was thinking on Grove, you know, there's a
That's at
couple of
least
commercial
commercial,
places,
yeah.
but,
I thought originally she came in and she had said Benson, the insurance
oh,
agency
yeah, but that
was giving them parking
fell
spaces.
through.
Right, apparently she was conversing with Benson, people in Oneonta who,
Didn't know.
you know, weren't the right people to ask about a Cooperstown parking area, because there were multiple issues apparently with that, so she looked for some alternative. But I would say if something outside of a recognized kind of business district that we've confirmed has excess parking, which is really not very many places probably, then anything else would need some scrutiny to see if it actually is kind of lawfully available for lease.
Here it is. It was. Emily Additon at 26 Maple was the one who.
I think that's a residential.
Right. So there are many reasons why that
Okay.
didn't get traction.
Okay, all right. Yeah, because I don't, there used to be, but I'm not sure if it's in there anymore, there used to be a maximum distance for off-site parking, unless you had valet or some, some other kind of transport. All right. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you all, we will adjourn.
Go upstairs for tonight.
Just in time, the cement's still dropping, or
Yeah.
wet, go right here, that's just something.
That's true,
Yeah.
at least your footprints, yeah.
Put your footprints in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's my shoe.
Thank you all.